These are the questions I cover with some of my students, so we'll be covering them together. Question number 1. Il segnale di figura A su strade extraurbane è preceduto da segnale di pericolo di circolazione rotatoria in figura B. So the question is letting us know in strade extraurbane we will see the first one, which is the red one, before we get to the blue one, which tells us that here is a roundabout. The answer to this question here is zero, because we have two signs on the road. Before you get to where you need to give precedence or where you need to obey any sign, there will be a sign of preavviso. Preavviso simply means more like telling you in time, more like an alert. So they are telling you in 150 meters or in 20 meters or in 30 meters, you will come across so sign and you need to respect that sign. In this case, they are referring to a roundabout. So the red one here with the triangular form is letting us know in 150 meters, we need to slow down because there will be roundabout there where we need to give precedence if there's already a vehicle at the middle, or where we need to wait for other vehicles to pass, or rather where we need to pass if we are the one that have precedence on that part of the road. So the next question we have here is: il segnale raffigurato è posto in corrispondenza della fine di una pista riservata alla biciclette, which means the question is letting us know this sign is placed at the edge of that road that is made for bicycles, which is vero. You need to understand before you get to any fine, there will be a sign telling you you are about to enter that road. Let's say you want to enter marciapiede. There will be a sign that tells you this marciapiede starts from here and head from here. Or let's say you want to enter area pedonale. There will be a sign that tells you this is the starting of area pedonale and this is the ending of area pedonale. In this case, you will see a sign without the red bar on it if you are about to enter pista ciclabile. But if you are about to exit pista ciclabile, you will come across this sign here which tells you pista ciclabile ends here. So the next one we have here is: il segnale raffigurato preannuncia una cavalcavia. Mainly looking at this and this segnale di pericolo, and it tells you there will be a strettoia on the left side of the road. So you are driving on a wide road, all of a sudden you come across this sign. This sign is telling you in 150 meters there will be a strettoia da sinistra, which means the road will be tight from the left. In presenza del segnale raffigurato posto su strada a doppio senso di circolazione e con due solo corsie, si deve circolare il più possibile vicino alla margine destro. So the question is letting you know, if you see this sign and the road is doppio senso di circolazione, which is two-way drive, you are going to a certain direction and there is vehicle coming from the opposite direction, you need to drive close to the edge of the road, which is vero. Anytime you see this sign and you are driving on doppio senso di circolazione, you always want to drive close to the line on the right side of the road. Why? Because you moving close to that line on the right side of the road creates space at the middle for the other vehicles coming from the opposite direction to pass. Because remember, doppio senso di circolazione means there will be vehicle coming from the opposite side. And if you are driving close to the middle line or the middle road, there's high chances that you can create danger there. So all you have to do, move to the right side of the road, close to the line, drive a pace, slow down, and be ready to stop if necessary. So the next question we have here is: il segnale raffigurato preannuncia una zona soggetta ad allagamento. The question is letting you know, if you see this sign, it's placed on that part of the road where you are likely to come across water at the middle of the road, which is actually far. So because this sign here is letting you know you can't pass this part of the road if you are carrying goods that can easily absorb water. So if you are carrying goods that can absorb water easily, you can't pass this part of the road. So it's not telling you that you'll find water on the middle of the road, which is falso. In presenza del segnale raffigurato è opportuno fare particolare attenzione ai veicoli provenienti da senso opposto. So the question is letting you know, if you are driving and you come across this sign, you need to pay more attention to the vehicle coming from the opposite direction. This is doppio curva la prima a destra. So if you're driving and you come across this sign here, it means you need to pay attention to the vehicle coming from the opposite direction. Because if the road is doppio senso di circolazione, you can't see clearly the vehicles coming from the opposite direction. So if the question tells us, anytime we see this sign, we need to watch out for the vehicle coming from the opposite direction, the answer is vero. So the next question we have here is, in presenza del segnale raffigurato è necessario accelerare bruscamente in caso di pioggia. Anywhere you see accelerare bruscamente, the answer is falso. We don't even need to read the question. But let's say, for example, you are driving and it's raining. If you want to step on the brake, how will you do it? You step on the brake gently so that you will create danger because the road will be slippery. The aderente between your tire and the ground will be low. That means if you step on the brake anyhow, there's high chances you might create danger. You need more space to actually stop the vehicle. But the question is letting you know, if it's raining, you need to drive very fast, which is fast. So remember, if you are driving very fast, then you lose control over the vehicle. If by any chance someone entered the road unexpectedly, you will find it difficult to stop the vehicle because it's raining, the road is not dried, and the road is slippery. If you step on the brake, the vehicle will need more space to actually stop. The next question we have here is, in segnale raffigurato indica che non è consentito proseguire diritto. If you are following me for a while now, you know anytime you come across segnale di obbligo, they are referring to one direction and you must follow that direction. In this case, this sign here is obbligo di svoltare a sinistra. So if you come across obbligo di svoltare a sinistra, I mean the only direction you need to go at that point is left. So the question is letting us know, anytime you come across this sign, you can't go straight. The answer to the question is vero, because this is obbligo di svoltare a sinistra, which tells you the only direction you can go is left. Okay, let's pause here for a while. I will read this question and I'll give you guys a few minutes to actually answer the question. And you let me know under the comments if the answer to this question is vero or falso. I will not answer the question and I will not explain the question because I believe any sign from segnale di obbligo is very easy. So the first thing you need to look out for, if you are reading a question, try to understand the words in that question. So this one here said, il segnale raffigurato indica che è consentito passare sia a destra che a sinistra della striscia continua. Consentito mean allowed, passare mean passing, striscia continua mean the straight line at the middle, which is not divided, just that straight line at the middle. So what's the answer to the question? The next question we have here is, in vicinanza di un attraversamento pedonale, il conducente deve considerare che le persone anziane solitamente attraversano lentamente e con difficoltà. So the question is letting you know, if you are close to zebra crossing for foot, you need to put it into consideration that the old people will cross slow, which is vero, because if old people are crossing the road, they actually take their time. they don't cross very fast. So you need to always put it in mind that these people will cross slow and they find it difficult to cross very fast. In that way, you slow down before you get to that zebra crossing and be ready to stop if necessary. Il segnale raffigurato indica che è prossima una bifocazione pericolosa. When you see a word bifocazione, it's referring to two roads going to different directions but close to each other. But this sign here is a sign of obbligo that tells you one direction is going straight and the other direction is going right, and this is more like a junction. While bifurcation is not a junction, it's just two roads close to each other but they are going towards different directions. So the answer to this question here is falso. Il passo carabile è un segnale che impone la circolazione rotatoria su una piazza. The answer to this question here is falso, because passo carabile is a private property which tells you can't park your vehicle there. You always see it in front of private property. La carreggiata del tipo rappresentato è a doppio senso di circolazione. The question is letting us know this carreggiata here is doppio senso di circolazione. The answer to this question here is vero. Remember, merely looking at this carreggiata, you see we have two white lines at the middle, letting you know the two corsiers on the left are going to one direction, while the two corsiers on the right are going to a different direction. So this is doppio senso di circolazione. Those two lights tells you that the vehicles on those left corsier cannot cross over to the other side. The next one we have here, in segnale raffigurato preannuncia che gli autocarri oltre 3,5 tonnellate devono svuotare nella direzione della freccia. The question is letting you know the autocar carry load higher than 3.5 tons need to turn towards the direction the sign is pointing to, which is vero. Remember, anytime we come across segnale di obbligo, it means the only direction we need to go is that direction. We can't turn to any other direction. In this case, this sign is referring to only vehicle carry load higher than 3.5 tons. In segnale raffigurato nei centri abitati vigi dalle ore 8 alle ore 20. The answer to this question here is falso, because if this sign is placed on any road, this sign is valid 24 hours. Why is it valid 24 hours? This is a sign that tells you that vehicles carry load higher than 7 tons cannot pass that part of the road. So let's say you are driving a truck and you are traveling from Germany to France or from France to Italy, and all of a sudden you come across this sign on one part of the road. It's letting you know that road prohibits the transit of vehicles carrying load higher than 7 tons. The next one we have here, in segnale raffigurato indica lo sblocco di un passo carabile. The answer to this question here is vero, because the question is letting you know this sign here refers to passo carabile, and we know passo carabile is a private property. So this one is vero. Nelle aree pedonali possono transitare i veicoli dei vigili di fuoco con luce lampeggiate blu e sirene in funzione. So the question is letting you know in area pedonale, that part of the road made for foot, vehicles for vigile di fuoco can pass if they are carrying out service, which means anytime you see them on that siren and the blue lights on, it means they are in service, they are working, they can pass that part of the road. The answer to this question here is vero, because anytime you see the board of area pedonale, if you look down, you see all the vehicles that can transit there are always put under the board, like veicolo per invalid people, veicolo per vigile di fuoco, veicolo per scarico e carico di merce, veicoli per polizia. All those vehicles they can pass, even ambulance, if they are in service they can pass that part of the road. Il segnale raffigurato indica la fine del divieto di sorpasso per veicoli merci di massa a pieno carico superiore a 3,5 tonnellate. The answer to this question here is vero, because the question said this sign is telling you that you can now overtake, because the prohibition for vehicles carrying load higher than 3.5 tons to overtake another vehicle ends here. After this sign, you are free to overtake any vehicle. So if you are driving a truck and you are carrying load higher than 3.5 tons, once you see this sign, you are free to overtake another vehicle. Le macchine agricole possono trasportare fino a 4 passeggeri. So the question is letting us know, macchine agricole, which is vehicles for agricultural purpose, all those vehicles you use in the farm, can carry up to 4 passengers. The answer to this question here is falso. When it comes to macchine agricole, they can only carry up to 3 passengers, not 4. So the answer to this question here is falso. L'intersezione incrocio a raso è un incrocio fra una strada statale e in binari del tram. Anytime I say this question, for example, for real, it's funny. It's funny anytime I say this question, because why would they refer to intersezione incrocio a raso, which is a surface junction where 2 or 3 roads come in contact, as a road that is connected with binario di tram? It's not even making sense. But by the way, the answer to this question here is falso, because intersezione or incrocio a raso is a surface junction where 2 or 3 roads come in contact, where you need to slow down, give precedence to another vehicle to pass. Sometimes it's being regulated by a traffic light, so it's not connected to binario di tram. Anytime you see binario di tram, just put falso. Don't even read the question. In segnale raffigurato consente il transito a quadricicli a motore. So the question is letting us know, if we see this sign, it allows the passage of quadricicli a motore, which is vero. Remember, anytime there is a sign and there is symbol inside that sign, it means that sign is referring to just that symbol. In this case, we have this sign here and we have human inside, which lets you know this sign prohibits the transit of foot on that part of the road. Every other thing can pass. Biciclette can pass, vehicle can pass, motorcycle can pass. Even you say you and your friend cannot pass there, because if you are trekking, you can't pass. But if you are driving a bicycle, if you are riding a bicycle, you can pass. In segnale raffigurato, in corrispondenza di una piazza, prescrive l'obbligo di circolazione secondo il verso indicato. The question is letting us know, if you are driving and you come across this sign here, close to a roundabout, it tells you you need to follow the lines on this sign. Those directions on this sign tells you how you'll be able to navigate that road without creating danger on the road. The answer to this question here is vero, because anytime you see a roundabout and there is a sign on it, you always need to follow the direction on that roundabout. In that way, you will be able to navigate that road without creating danger for any vehicle on that road. In presenza del segnale raffigurato, bisogna usare particolare prudenza nel tratto di strada che segue. Si dovranno effettuare manovre di retromarcia. So the question is letting you know, on this part of the road, you need to be very cautious if you are doing retromarcia. The answer to this question here is vero, because from the image you can already see there is water on the other side of the road, which means if you don't watch well, if you don't drive with care, if you don't pay attention, there's high chances of you falling into that water. It might be the seaside, it might be close to field, man. So anytime you see this sign, you always want to drive with caution. That is all, and I hope you like the video. And if you do, watch this video here which cover limite massimo di velocità. This video cover how you will be able to tell which speed limit you need to drive on any road. And also let me know that this video, if there's anything you don't understand, and I'll be here to cover it for you guys. Hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.